Hey, are you thinking about using ConvertKit for your email marketing needs? If so, keep watching this video for my review. Hey everyone, welcome back and hello. My name is Janelle Allen and I help business owners to create and market online courses. So we are going to do something different. The next 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 or 7 videos are going to be all about email marketing. And I thought it would be a good idea to, before we dig into how to set up certain email marketing sequences and campaigns, to talk about the tool that I use for email marketing, which is ConvertKit. Now, I switched to ConvertKit recently, so I thought this would be a good time to dig into why I made the switch, what I came from, what I like about ConvertKit, and what I want ConvertKit to improve. All right, so let's dig in. So I came from an email service provider called Drip, and I absolutely loved using them. Drip opened up so much marketing knowledge for me because it's a super powerful tool and you can segment down to any detail you want to identify and target your subscribers. It's incredibly powerful. It provides a ton of insights to what your subscribers are doing, how they're engaging with your content. It just allows you to do so much. There's so many integrations. But this is not a Drip review, so let me not get too excited. As you can tell, I really enjoyed using Drip. However, I found that when I made the pivot away from designing courses for my clients to helping my clients to market and sell more courses, 9 times out of 10, I would recommend ConvertKit, or my clients were already using ConvertKit. So at a certain point, I decided that I wanted to master the tool that my clients were using for their email marketing so that I could better serve them. So I just want to be super clear and say that Drip didn't do anything wrong. I did not leave because of a bad experience. I always had great interactions with their customer service and I loved the tool. I just left because I wanted to master ConvertKit so that I could better serve my clients. The other reason I have to admit is my marketing systems has just gotten really clunky. My email marketing had gone through so many transitions. I tried so many different strategies and tactics, just testing things out, that my system was it was messier than I wanted it to be. And I thought making the switch would be a great opportunity for me to start fresh, clean things up, decide what I need and what I didn't need. So that is my story, what I came from, and why I ultimately decided to switch to ConvertKit. All right, so let's talk about what I like about ConvertKit. Now, first and foremost, the thing that I enjoy and the reason I recommend ConvertKit for most of my clients is it's just easy to use. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a steep learning curve with ConvertKit. Now, yes, I have some caveats to that statement, but we'll address those later. In general, it's really easy to use, especially if you're not super tech savvy. Let's actually take a peek at the features. I'm on ConvertKit's pricing page right now, and they have essentially, let me actually scroll up to the top. There's 3 different entry points. So you can start for free, right? And that's up to 1,000 subscribers. Now that is limited. You get the ability to send email broadcasts, you get landing pages and forms, you can sell products and subscriptions, which is a lot for free. Then you have your creator tier, which starts at $29 per month, and you get everything that you got with the free tier, plus you're going to get the ability to migrate from another tool, and you get access to automation. So if you want to set up automations that enable people to do certain things based on certain criteria, you can do that. You're also going to get access to sequences, which we'll talk about in a second. And then we have their highest tier, which is Creator Pro, which is a relatively new tier as of this recording. I think Creator Pro has maybe been around for no more than a year or 2. So with Creator Pro, you're going to get access to, well, let me actually fix that highlight there. You're going to get access to Facebook custom audiences. You have a newsletter referral system. You can get subscriber scoring, which we'll talk about in a moment, and you get advanced reporting features. So if you want to look at all of their features and just kind of see what are the things that ConvertKit gives you out of the box, there's a great breakdown on their plans and pricing page. But what I want to do is actually walk through ConvertKit and show you the lay of the land. So we'll do that in a moment. Before we do that, I want to talk about something else that I really appreciate about ConvertKit, and that is their focus on deliverability. In fact, you can go to convertkit.com/deliverability and read all of their reports. You can get help with deliverability. You really see not every email service provider does this. I just want to say that up front. Some of them you have to contact support to find out, but ConvertKit puts it front and center, which tells me that deliverability is super important to them. And it should be important to you as well. If you sell and market online, then you need to make sure, if you're particularly using email marketing, you need to make sure that your emails are going to arrive to their targeted audience. Whoever you intend to send emails to, they need to get those emails, in other words. And so you want to be with an email service provider that prioritizes deliverability, and ConvertKit does that. Now, for the other things I like about ConvertKit, I'm actually going to pop into a demo account that I set up, and we'll take a look at the features themselves. All right, so I am logged into the demo account that I set up to show you what ConvertKit looks like. If you don't have an account, I'll walk you through the navigation and the features that you get access to. So I am inside of my account, and the main navigation here at the top has 5 different tabs: subscribers, automations, landing pages and forms, broadcasts, and products. Subscribers, as you may have deduced, is where all of your people are going to show up. So when people opt in to your list, whether it's through a form or a landing page or some other integration that you have set up, they're going to show up here. This is also where you're going to see all of your segments, which are just a group of subscribers who all meet a specific criteria. You'll also see your tags here. So tags are ways that you can filter or identify your subscribers, and you can add those tags, or you can create those tags here, and then you can set up ways to add those tags to your subscribers. And then you also have products, which, as you can see, I have a test product here that I've created. Any product that you create is going to show up here. And there's a caveat, but I won't get into that just yet. So that's subscribers. You can also see this is going to by default show your confirmed subscribers. So those are people who have said, yes, I want to opt in if you're using double opt-in. You can also see unconfirmed. So if you have people who haven't clicked that double opt-in, maybe you want to nudge them and send them a reminder, then you can filter and see who hasn't confirmed. You can also see who has canceled, who may have complained if you're sending spam, which of course you're not doing, who's bounced. These are emails that you sent out, but for whatever reason they didn't make it to the person. Maybe their email address has been deleted or something. And then you can also see your cold subscribers, which is a great feature, the ability to just see your cold subscribers just by clicking on this menu here. Cold subscribers are people who have disengaged with your content. So you often hear people say, my list has gone cold. That means people simply aren't opening my emails anymore. And you want to re-engage those people. So the ability to see a list of ConvertKit automatically identifies people who haven't been opening your emails. So the ability to see a list of those folks is great. It's nice and easy. You can then do a bulk action and send them, add a tag or set up an automation to send them a re-engagement sequence so that you can kind of warm up the relationship and get them engaged with you again. Now let's talk about automations. There's a lot under this menu. Under automations, you're going to have, which is a little confusing, admittedly, automations, which are other platforms call them workflows. So it is a visual way for you to create paths for people to move through or have actions happen based on a specific criteria. So essentially you set an entry point for the automation and you set up what is going to happen once your subscribers achieve that criteria for the entry point. You also have sequences. Sequences are a series of emails that can be automated. So if you want to create a new sequence, or some providers call them campaigns, so you may have heard that term, you can come here under automations, go straight to sequences and click on new sequence. Now, what I like about ConvertKit is if I do a test sequence and hit create, they give you a primer for how to build a sequence, and it's set up right inside of the sequence itself, right? So it's going to show you, what all of the features are. You can see an explanation for how to get started with your sequence. And then it's pretty straightforward and just user-friendly to come here. You're going to add your emails, right? So you can, and every time you add an email, it's already got some placeholder instructions and guidance, which I think is a very nice touch. So those are sequences. Now I'm going to go back to get back to the main menu. I'm going to click this arrow, and that's going to take me back to all of my sequences. I can sort by card or I can sort by list. I want to get back to the main automations menu, just so nice and clean. All right. So let's talk about rules. So we have automations, sequences, and then we have rules. Rules are simple if this, then that statements. So if we click on add a rule, you can see all of the triggers here. These are all of the things that are going to make this rule fire. So if someone subscribes to a sequence, we can use the test sequence that I just created. Then maybe I want to add a tag or set a custom field, right? So if we say we're going to set a custom field, then I come here and there's no custom fields. I haven't created one. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I can come in here and create a custom field from that menu. Now with tags, you can come in here and you can select a tag, and if you don't have one, you can create a tag right from this option. So I can come in here and put test tag, and now we've got that tag there. And if I wanted something else to happen, I can, I clicked on the plus. I did that a little bit fast, so you may not have caught it, but there's a plus icon, and when you click on that, you can set up additional criteria, right? So if I wanted to add another tag or remove a tag or subscribe someone to a form, I have a test form set up, so I could click that. And here's that plus. So we're going to hit save rule, and then we'll have our first rule set up. Now the nice thing about this is when people trigger this rule, you will see a history down here at the bottom, and you'll see everyone who has triggered that rule. So those are rules. We're going to go back to the automations main menu and talk about these last two here. You have RSS. So if you want to set up an RSS feed that just kind of broadcast your blog posts out to your audience and allow people to subscribe to that, you can do that here under automations. You also have your integrations under automations, which admittedly I don't think is the best place for them to go, but you do have them there. And when you click on that, you can see all of the native integrations that ConvertKit works with. You also can access Zapier. For any automations that aren't here that you want to set up, you can click on Zapier and it'll take you there. So that's everything under the automations menu that you get access to. So if we click here on landing pages and forms, you can see that I already have a couple of test forms set up. I'm actually going to create a new one and show you what that looks like, kind of behind the window, so to speak. So if I click on create a form, and you can choose, do you want to create a form or a landing page? We're going to go with a form here. And what I like about this is ConvertKit gives you a lot of different options. You can go inline, modal, slide in, sticky bar, Whatever floats your boat, you can go with it. I'm going to click on inline. Let's say I want to put a form underneath of my blog post. And when I come here, I have all of these templates to choose from. So again, ConvertKit is always being super thoughtful and trying to make things easier for you. So I'm actually going to exit out of here and just go to the form test that I've already set up, so you can see what this template looks like and how easy it is to edit. This is what I mean when I say ConvertKit is pretty user-friendly, especially if you're not super tech savvy. You know, you've got these templates, you can come here and easily edit the image or replace the image. I'm going to get out of here. Change the text. You know, if I type this, I can change this. And it's just super friendly and easy to use. So I'm going to hit save here. And you've got all of your settings. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you do have your settings. So if you want to have double opt-in to make sure people are really wanting to be on your list, you click on incentive, you can do that. If you want to disable it, you can do that. If you want to send a resource when people opt in, let's say you have a particular form for a guide or a checklist that you have. Well, you can just use ConvertKit to deliver that to people. So you can click on download, and then it's going to open up the dialog window for you to select the PDF or whatever the media format is for you to attach, and it will handle sending that out to people. So you don't need an extra piece of software to do that. And then you have some advanced features if you want to send subscriber data over to a thank you page. You can do that as well. So that's all under the settings menu. You can see how many people have opted in to the form, how many people have visited, and what's your conversion rate. Now this is cool because over time, if you have a lot of different forms, you can see which ones are performing the best, and that allows you to make better marketing decisions. So those are landing pages and forms. Now if you take a look at the landing pages, this is, in my opinion, one of the best features that ConvertKit has. The ability to use landing pages built into your email service provider. So you don't have to pay for another service like LeadPages if you don't want to. Now, I will say that ConvertKit's landing pages are pretty straightforward. They don't have a ton of bells and whistles. So if you're looking to get started, it's a great option. If you're needing more advanced capabilities, then you may still want to go with something like LeadPages or ClickFunnels. All right, so let's talk about broadcasts, because whether you're just getting started or you're a veteran with email marketing, at some point you're sending a broadcast. So let's see how easy it is. You come to broadcast, you can see I already have a test one set up. To create a broadcast, you just click on this bright red new broadcast button. And that's going to take you to this page where you can select your recipients, right? And you have some criteria to filter based on, if you want to match any, all, or none of these items. And then you can click here and filter down to, do you want to send it to everyone on your list? Do you want to send it to people who are maybe just subscribed to a specific form, right? So I have a form set up. Let's see if it pops up here. Yep. So let's say I just want to send it to people who are subscribed to that form. And then maybe I want to add another filter because I have all selected. I can also say, if I want to send it to people who are subscribed to a particular tag, or let's say a product, because I have a product set up in here, test product, right? And then I hit add filter. So you have the ability to filter based on pretty much every capability that ConvertKit gives you, which is going to be tags, custom fields, forms, products. You can filter by that. On top of that, you can filter based on region, city. You can filter based on the date that people have subscribed. So if you want to send it to people before or after, you can filter based on email address, first name, so on and so forth. So we're going to click next here and just give you a peek inside of the editor. Now this is the same editor. You're basically the same editor you're going to see when you have sequences, with a few differences, because you're not sending a sequence. You're not going to have that menu. The menu on the side is contextual to what you're doing. So One of the things that I really like about this editor is just the cleanliness of it. So I can come here, and if I click on this plus, it's going to open up a submenu, right? And that submenu is going to allow me to quickly insert any of these elements listed. So if I want to put an image in here, I can do that. If I want to put a button, I can do that. If I want to, most times when people are starting out with an email, they want to have a greeting. So I can click on personalization, and the code to send a personalized greeting is already set up. All I have to do is click add to email, and it pops up there. So I can say, hey, first name. If there's no first name, it's going to default to there. So again, it's just the thoughtfulness that ConvertKit brings, so that if you don't know how to set up this liquid code, you can just click this plus sign, scroll down to personalization, and click on greeting, and it will add it for you. If I want to add a snippet, if I want to add a heading, if I want to add lists or block quotes, these are all available to you in this menu here. And then outside of that, you can just type your text, right? So I can put some text here. It's going to auto save, which is a nice feature. And then you can preview it here, and you can also preview it at the next step. So if I wanted to click browser here, I can preview and see exactly what this would look like, right? I can also just go to the next step, and it's going to show me a preview one more time before I hit send, which is just a nice fail-safe. So I've got this preview, and as you can see to the right here, there's this little pop-up. It's not really a pop-up, it's just there saying that there's a few issues. So again, the thoughtfulness of ConvertKit. It's telling me, hey, before you send this, here's a couple of things you might want to check out. There's no recipients added, so no one's going to get this email. And you forgot to change your subject line, which could be pretty embarrassing. So if I go back and then you have the option to not only preview it in general, but you can preview it as a subscriber. Now this is helpful if you are using some type of liquid formatting or liquid code, and you want to make sure that, let's say you want to send a particular snippet of text only to people who meet a specific criteria, and you've coded that in. You can preview, you can find a subscriber who would meet that criteria and preview as them, and that will enable you to see if your code is right? If you did it right and if it's showing up the way that you intended it. So that's a very helpful feature, and it's just super thoughtful. And then from there you have your basic next steps, right? Which is going to be either to send the broadcast or to schedule it. If you want to send, you're just going to send it immediately. You just click this send broadcast button. But if you want to schedule, you're going to click this pencil icon next to send immediately, and you're going to pick a date in the future. So let's say I'm going to pick Thursday, April 8th at 7:05 a.m. And then it is a little confusing. In my opinion, this should change to schedule once I've scheduled, but you would just hit send broadcast and it would go out. So I am actually just going to hit save and save it as a draft, and then it's going to pop up in my list. Last thing that I'm going to show you is, and I'm not going to walk through all of the capabilities, but products, because this is something that I really like that ConvertKit has done, and it's relatively new. I believe it's been around for 1 or 2 years, 2 years, I believe, at the time of this recording. So what are products? Products are the ability for you to sell digital products. You can even use it for services or a paid newsletter. You can sell products directly from ConvertKit. And the cool thing about this is you can set up payments. It'll integrate with Stripe. And you also can set up a checkout or a shopping cart. So what is that? Why is that cool? Why is that important? Because it saves you money. You don't have to go out and find a tool to sell your products. You could feasibly do it right with ConvertKit. Now this isn't going to work for courses, but if you're selling a download, if we click on new product here, you can see your options. So, I'll just put test here, and it's not a mini course, it's a download. So we'll put that. And Are you paying, is it going to be a one-time fee? Is it a subscription? We're going to say one-time fee, and then we'll click next so that you can see what you can sell. So you can sell a digital download, an ebook, a PDF. You can sell a members only newsletter. You can sell your services even. So if we click next, I'm going to select services just to see what happens. It's going to take you to a domain. So this is the link that you are going to use to send or share with people so that they can purchase your product. So we're going to click create product. And then you're going to go to a form that you can embed on your site. And this is going to allow you to just put this on your site and people can click and purchase it. And when they click it, they're going to go to the checkout page where they'll put their information in, and then they will get a confirmation screen that will tell them they paid, how much, when did they pay, and what card, and what's going to happen next. And then they're also going to get an email, and you can set up all of this right within ConvertKit. So that's super powerful. I honestly think, this is my first time really digging into products, and I think that this is a big deal, especially if you're starting out. So that's products. I'm going to hit save here, and that's an overview of what things look like inside of your ConvertKit account. Okay, so we're going to pause here because this video is getting pretty in-depth. I still have a lot to say about ConvertKit, but I'm going to save that for the next video. So in this video, you learned why I made the switch to ConvertKit and what I came from. You also learned all of the things that I like about ConvertKit. In the next video, I'm going to share the things that are on my wish list for ConvertKit to improve. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.